Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing great. It has been a minute since I did a live stream, so just to make sure all our tech stuff is working well, let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see me all right. I still have Kyivstar as my provider. I think that's the best cell phone provider I can have here in Kiev, so I hope that today's stream will go off without a hitch. But I am so excited to be back, guys. As many of you know, I haven't been feeling well this past month. I've kind of had to take some downtime for lots of different reasons, which I'll get into in the stream. But I'm really happy to be back. And since I am leaving Kiev in 5 days, had to think about it. I thought that I would do one more live stream here in Kiev, show you guys around definitely one of my favorite places in the city. And if you come to Kiev, I would also really recommend you check it out as well. So before we get straight into that, just want to give a couple shout outs here. I wish I could shout out everybody. You're all loved. Thank you so much for coming. But thank you, John Zook from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, for coming out. Thank you, E.T. Oh, we got Harriet and Jim from Richmond. Hello, guys. Thank you for coming. My dad even popped in. So thanks to my dad, Gordon, for coming in. Eric from Holland. We got Polina, we got Zangia from Russia, Privyet. We got so many great people here. Oh, Brianna, my girl, hope you're doing good. Mitos. We got Michael. So good to see you guys. Oh, Georgie as well. You guys are so sweet, really. Thank you all so much for coming, and comment down below where you're from and what time it is there, because I always find that quite interesting. Thank you so much for the super chat, Wayne C. Miles. Very kind of you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I believe Larry Wharf sent a super chat before we even got started. So thank you to Larry for that. Oh, we got people from Sweden here, Korea. Amazing. Oh, it's really late in Korea. Geez, 11 o'clock. See, it's crazy because, you know, for me to even reach a North American audience, I basically have to start in their early morning and my almost evening. And as you guys can see, it's kind of overcast and already dark today, even though it's 4 o'clock. And if I started earlier than this, it'd be like, 6 a.m. on the west coast of North America, so that's not ideal either. So unfortunately, once it gets towards the winter, the time difference is a bit off, but I think in my next destination it should be much better, and I'll get to that as well later on. So guys, where we are right now is actually a very special place from my childhood. Me and my mom especially would always go walking around this area, and even though they've kind of built it up newer, more different, there's still a lot of really beautiful buildings around here. The view is great from here. So let me just flip the camera and give you guys a little shot of what I am looking at here. This is kind of an inner part of a neighborhood. We always called this place Panorama. I don't know actually if it has a different name now, but this is what we called it when I was a kid. And if you can kind of even see like this green building right in front of us, it has like 1904 on it. So these buildings have definitely been here for over 100 years. Definitely even before the Soviet bloc sort of times. So you can actually keep walking that way quite a ways if you wanted a really, really long walk. But what we're going to do is actually just start in this area, and we are going to make our way to my favorite place. Many of you probably already know it, which is Andreevski Spoosk, and we are going to go all the way down that, all the way down to Padilla. I don't think I've actually ever really, done an extensive video on this area, so I thought that it would be fun to do a live stream from here. And this beautiful playground obviously was not around when I was a kid. This is not a Soviet-esque sort of playground, but I think they did a really cool job with it. It's almost like, I don't know, Alice in Wonderland themed. As you can see, that's Alice. I don't know what the purple bunny is, but I think they did a really good job on this area. This would actually be a really good area to live in as well if you were looking for real estate in Ukraine. It's like a quiet, family-friendly sort of area, but you're also like really close to downtown as well. Oh yes, Cheshire Cat. Thank you so much, Mark. I forgot the characters in Alice in Wonderland for a second. Got some zebras here. I think we got a penguin down there. Actually, we may as well walk through here before we get to the lower part. And there's also a Ukrainian historical museum coming up as well, which I'd recommend you guys check out. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, Robert Lear. Thank you so much for the kindness. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're having a great day. Let me see here, guys. So, a couple of people have obviously asked this question since my last video was about me getting COVID. So I may as well start with that. Start with the main news where, yes, basically it's been, I think, over a month now since initially I started feeling unwell, and it was kind of when I was in Dnipro. So if you guys watched my last video, you already know the whole story, but basically like I am now, and already, 2 weeks ago overall, I was feeling significantly better. Like I still had, a little bit of like congestion and just a little bit of weakness, even after I tested negative again. But overall, I'd say I was very fortunate to have such a mild case. And of course, most likely that is because I did get vaccinated, fully vaccinated in Armenia about, well, it's 3 months now, I guess. So even though I don't know what I would have been like without the vaccine, I did have all the exact symptoms of a breakthrough case. So I think it is safe to say that the vaccine definitely made a difference. So even though it was still unpleasant to get, things could have been worse. I'm very grateful that I feel better now, and also that I had my family to help look after me when I had to be in isolation. So that is the update on that. But oh my goodness, I see 2 very kind super chats. Kim, thank you so much for the super chat. That is incredibly sweet of you. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I hope you are having a lovely day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. And Doug, oh my goodness, Doug, thank you for the very generous super chat. Alina, I missed your last several live streams, but watch them all afterwards. Have a wonderful day and stay healthy and happy. That is so kind of you, Doug, truly. Thank you so much for all the ones that you have gone to, because I feel like I've seen you at pretty much almost every single one, or at least you've commented. So thank you so much for your support, and I hope you and your loved ones are doing well. You guys are so kind. Thank you. Okay. So before, I totally leave, I guess, the COVID topic, let me just kind of flip the camera and I'll tell you guys about what the situation has been like here in Ukraine, just with everything happening, because it's not, I think, a coincidence that I got sick here, because the cases have been extremely high, unfortunately. So just looking at this area here first, I just wanted to make a mention that you can follow this stairwell that goes from this top part, and it goes all the way down into this like really colorful, very aesthetically pleasing sort of neighborhood. It strangely isn't super populated just because they actually have, you know, some different problems with amenities like water and light there for some reason. I guess because it's like in the bottom of the hill. But they do have some cute cafes down there, and it is a really pretty area to walk around. We're not going to go there today, but just wanted to let you know that if you're in this area, just follow this stairwell and it will take you down to this lower part. So just wanted to start with that. So let's talk about the COVID red zone situation here in Kiev. It was announced this past Monday, basically because the COVID numbers have gotten so high here in Kiev. I think the majority of the country is either in an orange or red zone right now. There's actually very few places that are yellow right now. So orange, when we were in orange, really, to be honest, wasn't that restrictive. Basically, everybody was allowed wherever. It's just they had capacity limits on certain places, and of course you had to wear a mask at you know, stores or events or whatnot. But with the red zone, it definitely changes things because not only are the only businesses that are allowed to operate have to have all of their staff fully vaccinated, or at least, you know, whoever is working there has to be fully vaccinated, and then any patrons obviously have to be fully vaccinated. So considering that Kiev, or I mean not even Kiev, all of Ukraine only has, let me just flip the camera here, considering Ukraine only has about 18% of its population fully vaccinated right now, that's a very small amount of people, to be honest. So as you can probably guess, like, there are a certain amount of businesses that have had to be forced to close. I wouldn't say it's actually a crazy amount just from the areas that I've been in, but I have, you know, seen quite a few that are closed, and also a lot of places are far less staffed. So that's kind of the situation with that. I don't know if all events are also still going forward. Like yesterday, for example, I went to the ballet theater and it was, you know, operating, but they did have like certain rows like blocked off. You had to show your vaccine certificate, all that kind of stuff. So if you're thinking of coming here, unless you're fully vaccinated, I really, you know, wouldn't recommend it. And unless you really had to come right now, I wouldn't really recommend it. I'd say like just wait until the spring, summer, just because it is starting to get colder. A lot of things are cold, and I just don't think this would be the ideal time to visit, if I'm being honest. So let me just flip here to show you guys this gorgeous view. This area is also really beautiful to walk around in. You really can just like wind all the way through these streets. We got a bit of a sunset happening, which is really nice. And this building right in front of us, I'll go to the actual front of it, is the National History Museum of Ukraine, which is also worth popping into. Oh, before I make my last comment on COVID, I see a super chat from Jim Ross. Jim, thank you so much for coming out as always. Well, it's great to see you up and around for a walk and talk. Missed the usual release schedule. Caused the week without many words from Alina. Decreases my weekly enjoyment. But it's nice to have you back even at 7 a.m. Well, thank you so much, Jim. That is very kindly appreciated. Happy to be missed. I will definitely have much more regular content once I get going again. It's just here in Kiev, I kind of had a lot of things happen in the last 3 weeks, and I've been trying to, you know, stay regular with at least one video a week. But I'll definitely be having more come out probably as we get into the end of the month and all of that. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much, Jim. And then I see another super chat from a different Jim, but I can't see your last name. I just see Jim Z with a very cute super sticker. So Jim Z, thank you so much for the very generous super chat. That is very kind of you. Thank you guys so much. So before I go to the front of the museum, I just did want to close on the whole COVID thing, that as far as the vaccine like certificates if you were here and wanted to actually go places. All you really need to do, unless you're like, you know, the Ukrainians have a QR code one. All the foreigners just have to bring a copy of their vaccine certificate. At least that's what I've been doing. What the hell? You can bring your original, but the way I look at it is, you know, you want to keep your original safe, and they don't really care either way. So just make sure you have a copy, and then ideally I'd say a copy of a passport, because they want to match up the names to the certificate if they want to be like really picky. Usually just the vaccine certificate is enough, but I bring along my passport copy because I did have it asked a couple times. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, you just show it, they let you in, really nothing else to consider. But if you're not vaccinated, I really, you know, wouldn't recommend coming, because you can't take public transit. You can't go in anywhere other than like grocery stores or like a takeaway sort of counter. So it really, you know, it wouldn't be worth it. And at this point, we don't know when it's going to end. It's going to probably be here for at least a month, like probably at least until Christmas. So it's a bit of a inconvenient time if you're unvaccinated and thinking of coming here for tourism. So, and just so everybody understands, because I think, you know, when you post on YouTube, people think that you release stuff that just happened, but a lot of times it's like 2 or 3 weeks late. And especially with that COVID video, it was late because I wasn't feeling well. So no, I did not meet, you know, any friends or whatever when I had COVID or whatever. So Johnny and Taya, they're all good. You know, I did the collaborations after I was already better. So nobody, as far as I know, got COVID from me. My family's all good. And to be honest, other than when I was in the hostel, I wouldn't say that I was super close with anybody, you know, while I was unmasked. So where I caught it is the only place really, I think, where I was unmasked with other people other than my family. So just saying that nobody needs to go get a COVID test, at least from that situation, because this was basically a whole month ago. All right, so let's flip and keep on moving, because look how dark it is already. We got quite a walk to get to Padilla on time. Look at that big, beautiful blue building. There's some really gorgeous buildings in this area. Actually, comment down below if anybody in the comments has been to this area. I'd be interested to know if any of you guys have already been here before. And it is about 4:20 Riyadh Walker to answer your question. Hello, Vladislav from Bulgaria. Hello. Let's see here. Just reading your questions here, guys. Noli asks, do a lot of people speak English there? Well, in Kiev, overall, yes, I would say, and especially if we're talking about the younger generation, definitely most people will speak English to a certain extent. Any places that are more in the downtown core obviously will be much more English friendly. They'll definitely be tailored to that kind of, you know, demographic. So overall, I would say Kiev is very English friendly if you're in the more central part of the city. But if you're thinking of going somewhere kind of off the beaten track or more where, you know, the locals go, definitely you're going to have issues with just English. So it's a good idea to learn some Ukrainian or some Russian if you're thinking of going to those kinds of places. So this is the National History Museum. Like I said, definitely worth popping into if history is your sort of thing. And a lot of people don't know about this place because it is kind of, you know, it's in a fairly central place, but at the same time, it's kind of like tucked away from the main street, because where we're going to be going on Andreevski Spoosk is like out here and down. So you can't kind of see it from the street. So I think a lot of people, unless they know of it ahead of time, haven't really been there. So just a tip for y'all. Aw, thank you very much, Daryl. Yes, Kiev is definitely a beautiful city. It's really changed so much, and not only, you know, the last 10 years or whatever, but even like the last 5, the last 2, since the last time I was here, there's already a lot of changes. Like especially with the array of, or the variety, I should say, the variety of businesses that they have here in the city has definitely gotten so much better. Because I remember for a while, you know, if let's say I wanted, I don't know, Vietnamese food, let's say, or, you know, some kind of really, I don't know, strange product or something like that, usually I'd have a hard time finding it in Kiev. But now just like Googling whatever it is I want, you know, let's say Vietnamese food or, I don't know, some salon product, just Google it Kiev. Almost always I've been finding what I need. So it's actually really nice that Kiev has become such a modern and cosmopolitan sort of city. See here, guys. Just gonna go around. I'm gonna go down the street. I hope the souvenir vendors will still be out. But like oh yeah, I do still see some. But because it's getting darker, I think they kind of start closing up soon. So even though 4 p.m. feels fairly early, the darkness makes it feel like it's much, much later than it actually is. So if you guys saw my collab with Johnny FD, this is the street that we went down. This is the Souvenir street. Johnny did get a fancy fur hat in this area. And this is a really great place to come if you are looking for, like, you know, Ukrainian souvenirs, trinkets from the Soviet Union. You do have to obviously be, you know, a little bit careful if you are just coming, you know, with other fellow tourists, because especially the first rows here can sometimes give you much higher prices than what it actually should cost. But I think if you kind of shop around and get a feel for like what's the average going price for an item, you'll be able to, you know, kind of know what's a reasonable price. So kind of don't, you know, maybe take the first offer that you're given, kind of just like shop around, see what people say, go all the way, you know, down before buying something. So that would be a tip from me to you. And what this beautiful street is named after is right in front of us. It is the gorgeous Andreevski Cerkev, which kind of sits on a mound here at the start of the street. Oops, hitting my camera. Just because I only got one hand and it's a little complicated, I'll just recommend you guys go inside when you come here and stuff, because it is worth it. You get a really beautiful panoramic view out this way. And if you actually go out to the right and down the stairs, there's a whole beautiful walkway that goes all the way to Vladimirskaya Gorka, which is another really beautiful park. So what's really cool about this area is that so many different beautiful areas are all connected if you kind of, you know the lay of the land. So that's another beautiful walk if you go out that way. But yes, this church is what the street is named after. Some of you may know that actually my last name, like when I was born, was Andreeva. So I always feel like this is my place. Andreevski, Spoosk, Alina, Andreeva, I guess, slightly different. But I've always loved coming here ever since I was a kid. But we are going to keep heading on down. Very happy to see that there's still a lot of places that have their souvenirs out. As you guys can see, we've got like the beautiful Matryoshka dolls. You know, some people say that's more associated with Russia, but in Ukraine it's also a very popular souvenir. They're definitely worth the money, like one of the best souvenirs you could get, in my opinion. There's also like jewelry boxes you can get, all hand painted by very talented craft makers. And you can even ask them, like, you know, where in particular, which part of the country is this stuff made, because there's a few, you know, specific places in the country where there's large groups of usually women who make these kinds of stuff. Aw, so sweet. Thank you so much to my lovely friend Brianna for the super chat. I've missed you, Alina. You're the best. Love seeing you and Johnny working together. I'll be in Malta soon, and there is always room for you. Thank you so much, Brianna. Malta would definitely be amazing and somewhere that I would really love to go sometime. But it is not where I'm going next, but maybe another time. But thank you so much, Brianna. Oh, I think I missed a super chat, did I? Yes, I missed one from Harriet and Jim, I think. Let's see here. Yes, Costa's World of Music. Give us a hint where you're going next. Is it warmer than where you are, Harriet and Jim Richmond? Thank you guys so much. You guys are so sweet. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to announce just yet. I'm going to announce more at the end once it's kind of a normal time in North America and hopefully even more people are here. But to answer your question, it is colder. It is colder. The next place that I'm going for a little bit is colder than where I am right now, but it's more of a pit stop before I actually go to my next destination. So that is the tip. Let's see here. Perfect. All right, friends, I'm gonna go back to showing you the view. Once again, we have the church. And we are going to continue onwards. Oh, look at those tapachki slippers. That's the Russian word for it. Super toasty, super warm. Platochki that you can wear. And there's lots of like really good cafes in this area. I'll show you guys my favorite in a minute, but this place is supposed to be good. It's called Belgian Coffee Shop, I guess. Looks like they got some good stuff in there as well. Aw. Another lovely person talking about Malta. Malta Network Resources, thank you so much for the super chat. You are welcome in Malta. Alina would love to meet up. Well, thank you so much. Now I know. Malta's a place where I got friends in high places, so thank you guys. I will definitely keep that in mind. Thank you so much for the super chat. Actually, whoa, I just realized. I thought we only had like 200 people in here. We have almost 500 people in here. Holy moly. That is fantastic. Thank you guys. So good to see you all here. And some of you must be up real early, so thank you for coming out. All right, so yeah, there are souvenirs on this side too, but it's usually this left side that's much popular, much more popular. More people, I mean, display their work here. So we'll stay on this side. Another lovely looking cafe. Very cozy, very cozy. Let's see here. Ronik asks, what's the temperature there? So during the day, at least like today, it was about 10, 11 degrees, I think something like that. And if it's not windy, it's actually okay. Like I'm just wearing a fall jacket and I wouldn't say I feel that cold. But in the evening, it definitely starts to drop. So I'm putting on gloves because around like 6, 7 o'clock, it's probably about 6 degrees and stuff. And with the wind, it feels very cold. So guys, this is my cafe. This is the cafe that I have been going to for literally a decade, and it is still here. Ah, хорошо, извините. Lady going through. So yeah, this place has been here for definitely a decade. It is a French cafe, strangely enough. They have a fantastic creme brulee, if you love it as much as me. So if you're into French food, this would be one of my top recommendations of places to go when you're in this area. And in the summertime, if it is warm, it's really nice to like sit up here. You can like people watch and stuff. So really nice cafe, and to survive 10 years in a big city, I think is a really big win, so good for them. But yeah, we are going to keep on keeping on. One sec. Just gonna check one thing here. There's a good question that that Nigel Baker asked, have you run into any issues with flights? It seems like there's a lot of cancellations and rescheduling going on these days. I don't know. In my particular case, fingers crossed, I haven't had any issues, but not that I've been flying in the last 3 months. I have just been here. Before that, I just had a quick flight from Armenia and didn't have a problem there. But yeah, I have 2 tickets booked, one to my first destination and then one 2 weeks later to another. And so far, everything seems like a go, but I don't know, maybe it depends on the area. Maybe if certain places are going into lockdown again, maybe that would affect it. But the places that I'm going have fairly low COVID numbers. There's another tip for you. So I don't think I should have any issues. At the very least, they'd probably just put me on a different flight. So I think it just depends where you're going. And ideally, you want to go somewhere that has low COVID numbers and is also readily welcoming tourism, because that means, they're more likely to make sure everything runs on schedule. So that is that. Quick thing to mention here. See, once we are behind the church, this is the other way that you can get to that lower part of Vladimirskaya Gorka, and it's usually down this street that there's a lot of beautiful artists who sell paintings and stuff. This is the street to go down if you're interested in buying some really beautiful artwork. Back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, I actually purchased a gorgeous canvas painting where you can see the paint built up layer after layer for 250 Canadian. It was ridiculous. Just the paint alone would probably be $100. So very inexpensive, and you're supporting local artists. So definitely, come here instead of, buying your art from Walmart or something if you can. And we are gonna keep on heading down this way. Here's some ushankas, some shapachkis. Very nice. This slightly castle-looking building, I'm not sure what it is being used for right now, but I do know that it's supposed to be haunted. So if you're into ghost stories or creepy sort of places, that is one of the most well-known haunted places in Kiev. FYI, maybe they do ghost story tours or something in this city. And actually, funny story, also in Johnny's video when we were walking here, we talked about how in the winter, this street, if it, rains and then freezes, does become a sheet of ice. So be very careful if you are coming here in the winter and, the temperature has been up and down, meaning everything gets frozen. You will slide down here, unless you have crampons or something. It is actually super steep. So just keep that in mind if you're coming here for the winter months. See what else we got here. Beautiful paintings here. There's even art galleries here and stuff. Obviously you'll pay more, if you buy from the actual galleries, which still I'm sure would be worth it. But of course, since they have to pay a much higher rent, most likely the work in there is also going to be more expensive. Oh, hello to Olivia from Calgary, Alberta. Very cool. Laloy comments, never experienced walking on cobblestone before. It looks awesome. Yeah, you know, I actually didn't think of that, you know, for North America especially, you very rarely see cobblestone. So it is a bit of a different experience. Okay, these guys are amazing. Let's go listen to them. Oh shit, people are... Let's see here. I want to give them some money, but I can't. Oh yeah, I do have money. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Yeah, this is very traditional music, guys. Very interesting sort of instruments that they have here as well. Could anybody actually comment what the proper name is? Woo! I'm gonna just donate here. Very talented, very talented. Oh, balalaika. But isn't balalaika small? I thought balalaikas are the smaller kind. They had the big ones. I thought those have a different name. But that is a traditional instrument for sure in Ukraine, balalaika. Oh, everybody's saying balalaika. Okay. Maybe it is. Oh, wow. We got almost 600 people in here, guys. This is superb. Superb. Okay. One other thing, so you're already an expert when you come here yourself. So this is also a way that you can turn off and go to, remember the really colorful part that I was pointing to when we were up by the Ukrainian History Museum? So this lower part, when I was saying you could go down the stairwell and get into, you can also come from here. So this is what this is. FYI. But we are going to continue on this way. Got some beautiful painted plates. Let's just these people pass here. Very nice. People are starting to close up for the night, of course. I think this street overall is open every single day. Like there always will be somebody here. But the main busiest days are almost always like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you wanted to come here when everything's in full force, I'd recommend coming on the weekends and come basically from like noon to, well, 3 p.m. for sure. They probably will start like a little bit later or a little bit after as well, but like those would be the peak hours where you guys could see the majority of what there is to see. Aw. Thank you so much once again to Harriet and Jim. Does Ukraine have pop rock music scene? What are the current pop stars? Guys, I am the wrong person to ask. I'm sorry, I do not know what is the music scene here. That's not really my forte, but I know there are a lot of like live music, you know, sort of venues here in Kiev. So I'm sure, honestly, even if you just Googled in English, like live rock music Kiev, something would come up. Of course, during COVID, I don't know what the rules are with the red zone, but if you come here when it's not that, I'm sure you'll find lots of like live music options here in the city because Ukrainians are very definitely very talented in that. But thank you guys so much for the super chat. Very kind of you. So also, when I was here with Johnny, this, you guys, is the stairwell. This is where the flasher tends to hide out if he's still choosing to do that in the winter months. If you go up this stairwell, you get an amazing view of the city and possibly some creepy guy flashing you. So you have been warned, but this is where we went in the second video that I guess we did together, and it has a really beautiful view of the city, so definitely worth it to go up there as well. It's too dark for us to go up there now. Probably would be creepy as heck. So we are going to continue downwards, down to Padilla. And this building that's all lit up, if I'm not mistaken, is actually a, well, I think it's, in general it is a concert hall, but I think they have more like acting shows. So it's like if you spoke Ukrainian, I think this would be a cool place, you know, to go if you liked, you know, drama or something like that. It does look like there's people in there, so there probably is shows going on. Oh, I got a super chat from Damon. Can you tell me, is there any threat with Russia building up their military on the border of Ukraine again? Thank you for the super chat, Damon. Well, I mean, I don't exactly check the news daily on that kind of thing. I think if there was like a situation that was greatly different than what it has been like for the last couple of years, I think we would read about it in the news. But as far as I know, there, you know, hasn't been any outright sort of blows happening. Obviously, there is still, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not well versed in military sort of terms, but obviously there's troops there. That's the word I was looking for. Troops. There's troops on both sides. I think, you know, still near the Donetsk area, but I hope that overall it is in kind of a ceasefire situation. Though of course it is still very tense on that subject between the two countries, but as far as I know, I don't think there really has been any changes, you know, in the time that I've been here anyway. So that is all I can really say on that topic. Shoot, it is raining. I thought that was like, I don't know, an AC unit, but nope, that is rain. Damn it. Damn it, guys. Oh, this is not good. They did not schedule rain today. I was not expecting this. Okay, I'm gonna hope that it doesn't get much more intense, because while my phone I think might be okay, I know I'm not supposed to get this gimbal too wet. So that might slightly derail our plans, but at least we have gotten at least 42 minutes in so far. So hopefully we'll get to Padilla and I'll give you guys a view of that, unless it gets worse. But any questions that you have, please ask them now, because we don't know what is going to happen with the weather here. But let me give you guys another view of the street as we walk down here. This is another theater that they have here, also a like acting, like drama theater. So once again, I would say that, you know, there's not really much point going unless you understand Ukrainian. But it is cool that they have it right here, straight onto the street. Oh, this is so unfortunate. It's actually raining slightly heavy right now. Very sad, very sad. Oh, at the very least, I'm going to show you guys the beautiful mural that they have here. You can already probably see a certain portion of it right in front of us. Let me just stand in the corner here. This has been here for quite a few years, and it's just this beautiful Ukrainian girl. And it is like Kiev that's in the bottom, because you can see like the Lavra and some of the other famous churches that they have here. Like really cool sort of artwork that was done on the building. And yeah, everybody's definitely closing up now. But we're gonna make it, guys. I'm gonna show you the Ferris wheel of Padilla at the very least. So we're not too far from it. Basically, to tell you about Padilla, this is kind of the lower, yeah, I guess you could say the lower part of the city that's by the Dnieper riverbank. And it kind of has its own, you know, sort of neighborhood with, you know, restaurants and cafes that are super cute. You can go walk down by the boardwalk. In the summer, you can take some of those, like, they call them party boats, I guess, and just take like a nice cruise down the Dnieper for like $10 or something like that. So if you wanted a more like laid back but still fairly tourist friendly area of Kiev to stay in, I would say Padilla would actually be a really good choice, because you're still fairly close to, like, you know, the central downtown core. You have a metro station fairly close. It's a really safe area. So Padilla is actually a really great area to stay in if you didn't want to be like right downtown Krishatik or something like that. Oh, I'm glad you guys are liking the walk and liked the mural. Thank you. Couple other quick little things that I wanted to show is famous cafe that started in Lviv but now is all over Ukraine. But this is my favorite location. This is my favorite Lviv chocolate shop location, just because it's super spacious. In the summertime they have like a huge patio out here, and this is like my favorite place to get like hot chocolate, handmade chocolates, just, you know, desserts in general. This is one of the best places in Kiev, in my opinion, even though, you know, it is a chain. It is a chain, but it's actually a really good chain. So that's another place that I would recommend to you guys. And then right in front, we have Piyannaya Vishnya, which means drunk cherry. I'll show you the sign in a second. This is another chain, but a Ukrainian chain that was started in Lviv, and it's kind of like a cherry liqueur that you drink here, and it's like super popular. So this is another thing. Oh my goodness, did I miss a super chat? I missed 2 super chats. So bad. I'm so sorry. I'm going to stand out of the rain. I think I was concentrating on not getting wet. But thank you so much to Rakul. Thank you so much, as always, my friend. Thank you for coming out. I'm so happy to hear that you're feeling better now. Thank you for another fantastic live stream, and safe travels to your next destination. P.S. New hair color looks amazing. Thank you so much, Rakul. That is so sweet of you. And yes, guys, I did just get my hair dyed today, and I'm not supposed to get it wet, or at least I'm not supposed to wash it, so perfect timing, you could say. But thank you so much, Rakul, and you just reminded me that I will tell you guys like where I'm going next in the next 5 minutes, because, well, the rain. And then the second super chat, Michael, thank you so much. Hi, how are you, Alina? Beautiful city. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm doing well, feeling good, little sad about the rain, but can't complain other than that. So thank you so much for the support, my friends. All right, guys, we are going to keep moving onwards. I'll tell you where I'm going right at the end of the stream, but we've only got a little ways to go to see the beautiful Ferris wheel that they have here at the bottom of Padilla. So how about I give you a close-up view of that, and then I will sign off and tell you where I'm going, because I don't think the rain's gonna stop. It's actually getting a lot heavier. So we got what we got. Usually my live streams are like an hour and a half, but considering it's dark and rainy, I guess we're just gonna have to make do with just an hour tonight. I still greatly appreciate all of you coming out, and I'm sure we will have many live streams to come. We'll for sure have one from my next destination in 2 weeks. I think in 2 weeks will be when I do it next. So I'm actually super excited for this next live stream. Yeah, it's a place I know very well, you could say. But this is kind of the start of Padilla. As you guys can hear, there's even people playing like live music here, and there's lots of great restaurants. Puzata Hata, Ukrainian McDonald's, even though they don't serve burgers, it's just like their version of Ukrainian food that you get super fast for super cheap. So that is definitely a must if you visit Ukraine. But yeah, this is This is kind of, I'd say, the most popular street in Padilla. Like this is where you'll find like a lot of like really good restaurants and shops and stuff. So if you were staying on this street or just like wanted a cool place to hang out, I'd say go down this one. And then as you can see, the gorgeous Ferris wheel, which I guess is actually a bit overpriced. I mean, I would still say you should go on it because it'd be a great view, like if it's a nice clear day. But it is like significantly more expensive than the one that you guys might remember that I went to in Kharkiv. I went on a beautiful, fairly new Ferris wheel in Gorky Park in Kharkiv, and it was literally like $2 Canadian. But apparently this one is like, I don't know, $10 a ride Canadian, because it's like 200 grivnas or something, somebody told me. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I did hear that that's what the price was. So that is a bit much for Ukraine. And that's why I think, you know, some of the cabins are a bit empty. They probably would do a lot better if they lowered the price, like more people would actually take it. But I still say, even for $10, it probably would be fun. It'd be worth it. Get a good view of the city. So that is that. And then over here we got the Padilla sign. I love Padilla. Very photogenic. So many kind super chats here. Thank you so much to Martin B. У природы нет плохой погоды. Very good quote, Martin. You're very right. There's no, nature doesn't have bad weather. There's no such thing as bad weather in nature. And that's a quote from the Soviet movie. Well, actually, it's from a song. It's from a Soviet song that was in the movie Ironic Fate, which is very good, that I would recommend y'all watch. So very good quote, Martin. Thank you so much. Good luck with your next travels. Thank you so much, Martin. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting. And thank you so much to Katsu. You come out as well. I greatly appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. Hello from Tokyo. Thank you for beautiful autumn scenery. Thank you so much, Katsu. Sending you lots of love. You guys are so kind. All right, guys, I'm getting rained on. I gotta go here. So where I am going next may come as a surprise. Somebody had already kind of mentioned it, but I am going back to Canada. I'm going back to Canada. Going back for some Tim Hortons for 2 weeks because I was able to get a flight from here to Toronto, transferring through Istanbul for basically like $500. Like that is cheap. That's a really good price, especially with like good airlines. And then I'm gonna be in Toronto for 2 weeks, gonna visit some friends, and then I'm going to be heading onwards to, drumroll please, to Bogota, Colombia. I keep wanting to call it Bogota. I mean Bogota, from Bogota. It's Bogota. I'm going to be starting there, and I basically plan on spending most of the winter and early spring in South America. And currently Colombia is actually doing really good with like COVID numbers, and they haven't had any like lockdowns for quite a while, and it's like totally open. Even though I'm vaccinated, you don't need anything to go to Colombia right now. So I have heard really good things, and I'm excited to, you know, see what it's like. Obviously, you know, I have heard that you do have to be more careful there in comparison to maybe, you know, European destinations. At least that's what I've heard. I won't really know, you know, until I get there what my personal opinion is of it. But I am super excited to travel Colombia and South America in general. Brazil almost for sure is going to be on the list next. So if anybody actually has, you know, any personal experiences or suggestions for Colombia, send me a DM or something on Instagram. It's just @Alina McLeod, or email me and stuff, because I do really like hearing, you know, personal experiences from people, because that, in my opinion, is, you know, where you actually get a sense of what it's like. So that is my announcement, guys. I didn't anticipate to go to, you know, Toronto for 2 weeks, but it was basically $200 more to make the pit stop. And I haven't been back to Toronto like since I officially left, like since I gave up my apartment when, you know, COVID it really happened. I haven't seen my friends there basically since then, so I thought I'd take a couple of weeks and hang out with them, kind of regroup. I like ordered a bunch of stuff, you know, to be delivered in Canada to kind of get me ready for my trip and stuff. So I think it'll be a really nice pit stop, even though it's going to be like cold or colder, obviously, since in comparison to Colombia. So that is where I'm going next. And thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. I'm so excited to see that we got like 600 people in here. That is absolutely incredible. So thank you all so much for coming out. I'm sending you lots of love. Please stay safe and healthy. And I will be live streaming from Toronto, like I said, basically in 2 weeks from now. So wish me a safe trip and plenty of poutine to eat. Sending you guys lots of love. And I am signing off.